Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Barley Lightfoot from Onward. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. There'll even be one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So I'm going to get us going. And this one should be fairly easy because it's just going to be, you know, Barley standing there. But I got to make him a little thick, a little bigger because, you know, like the story goes, this is how I draw. So this is my version. So I got to make him look real, but cartoonish. That makes sense? I don't care because this is how I draw. I'm just kidding. That's a very jerk thing to say. I'm not saying I don't care. What I meant was, I can't hear you. So, you know why you're here. You know what we're going to do. So let's get going. Okay, so, but basically what I was trying to say in my little jokey leeway is that, you know, he's a big, thick character. And so I want to make him, you know, fit the style. And draw him, because you know how I draw, and if you are new here, basically I draw the way I draw. Well, you know, this is how I draw, obviously, but I draw my style. So basically, my style is more real than the animated style or whatever it is that I'm redrawing. I'm kind of giving it a realish looking picture. Does that make sense? Or, you know, as I always say, you know? Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. So, the trick to it is, though, trying to get it to look like the character enough to, you know, make everybody happy and do exactly what I'm trying to do, which is drawing my style. That's not too bad. That's actually pretty good. I'm just playing around with some features and, like I said, trying to keep the animated look to it, but I don't know why I feel like I'm repeating myself, but just draw it in my style. It's exactly what I just said for the last minute. So I'm going to stop repeating that and just kind of get going. Alright, that looks pretty good. I like the way it came out. I just have to add some details now. Let's see, he's got more stubby ears than his brother. Than old Ian. Alright, he's got a little beanie hat on, so we got to put that in there. Not bad, not bad. Alright, I like this. This came out really well. And it's good that you know, this is not bragging. You know, you should always like what you do. If you don't, redo it. Because you should always, every drawing should be your best one. Better than the last, and you should always love what you're doing. Now, that's not to say that the last thing you did was bad, but that's just to say that you always want to progress. You always want to get better. And so you kind of look at your stuff as you know, this is good, but look, I just got better, because that's how drawing is. It's what practice is. The more you do it, the better you get. Alright, not bad, not bad. I like this. I like this a lot. And like I was saying from the beginning, this shouldn't take very long because it's basically, you know, regular clothes. No armor, no weapons, no, you know, nothing crazy. So this is just basically us drawing clothes and features. Skin, you know? Does he have socks? Just barely. Barely any. And I gotta give him some thick legs. Again, just to try to match what they did. And because some people are like that. You know, not everybody is super thin or has perfectly, you know, detailed little features. Some people have thicker body parts, elements, so to speak. So this is a good practice to draw things that aren't exactly what we always draw. Because one thing too you got to remember is you don't want to draw. You draw yourself most of the time, but you don't want to do that. You always want to break it up. You want to mix it up, you know. Because you're the best reference ever, but you know you're not always drawing yourself. Oh, look, he's got a cast. Ooh, I gotta draw that. Let's see. It's hard to see in these pictures. Because the movie's not out yet. Sorry, I went quiet there because I was concentrating. The movie's not out yet. But I always try to draw, you know, before the movies come out. Well, no, actually, at this point, the movie is out. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember my schedule of when I'm going to put these out. But anyway, I do these before the movie comes out, so A, I'm ahead and always, you know, have something down the pipeline. You always want to stay one step ahead. But it's not out as of this drawing, so I don't know all the details, but I know enough just from pictures. So anyway, what I was trying to say is I couldn't tell he had a cast until I was just paying attention right now and saw that. I know it sounds like I'm just kind of repeating myself or telling you things that are obvious that I've already said, but, you know, just entertaining you while I'm drawing. Entertaining myself, really, because nobody really watches this. Nobody watches the sketch part, right? Do they? Anybody? Leave a comment. Drop a comment if you do. Drop a comment and a like. Don't forget to smash that like. And all those sayings, those YouTube rules, YouTubities. Eraser. Okay, so I'm happy with the sketch, super happy, and I'm ready to get going, but I'm going to erase some of the sketchiness of it. Basically, the more confident I got, the darker the lines got. But I need to erase because I want the Sharpie to stand out. This is just a preliminary sketch. So the nice thing is, as I was just barely putting the sketch down, I was working real light, and as I got more confident, I got darker. So we're going to move with the confidence, and we're going to get rid of our sketchiness, just like in life. Always work with confidence. You never want to work with sketchiness. All right, there we go. I'm ready to go. I've erased enough of it that I can see where I'm going to go. And I'm going to welcome everybody that skipped, if you will, to the Sharpie portion of the video. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. So, I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the faint sketchy lines, and what's left is a ghost of an image that I can work with, and I'm going to start with my Sharpie pen. Now, like I said in the sketch, I am combining a real versus the animated style. So it's going to be kind of my own take, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. So I'm going to start off with his eyes and draw the top of the lids like this. I'm going to add some retinas. That's the colored part. And I'm going to add the pupil. And this is big enough I can actually add a circle. Normally I just add some dots because it's super tiny, but with this one I can go a little crazier. Seems to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to add I'm not going to add the bottom of the eye because normally it'll start to bleed if I do. So I'm just going to kind of imply it like that and let the retina represent the bottom of the eyelid. So I'm just going to build off of this. So I'm going to draw the bridge of his nose just a little bit like this, because his eyebrows are high up and chill. He's chillaxing, right? Like that. There we go. And so I'm going to draw, he's got kind of a little bulbous pointy nose. It's a little bit high, so I'm going to draw one nostril like this. Bring the bottom of it down, draw the other nostril in like that. Draw that edge. And that's pretty much all I can do. I can do something like this, but that's all I want to do because, well, let's do a little bit more. I want to give him a little bulby nose like that, just to accent the way he looks, okay? So we'll go ahead and add the bridge real faintly, just a hint of a bridge like that. That's all I want to do with this. The rest I can do with color, but as far as the dark edges, that's all I want to do there. So I'm going to give him a nice little curvy smile up here. Like that. And something I talked about in the sketches, it's a little different. It's a, you know, they've done their style, and I'm going to add my style. So his face is a little rounder, but that's how people are. Sometimes they're thicker here, they're thinner there. It's always different. So this is a good practice to try something a little bit different than you're normally drawing. You know, you're drawing a different kind of person. That way you can get different body styles and different techniques, and you can build a good army or weapons, or I'm trying to think of the stockpile, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A good stockpile of different body types and techniques to draw, so you're not drawing the same thing every single time. So for his chin, I'm going to have it way down here, and it's going to come up, and it's going to go around there. But before I go too high, I'm going to start to thicken this up. I'm going to draw some of those hairs too. So let me come back over here on this side, and I can draw this cheek. And I'm going to start to thicken these edges up, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, it's super thick. And because I know that's about to happen, I'm kind of adjusting for that. So if you're using a pencil, you don't have to do this, but I'm just adding a technique that I know I'm going to need pretty soon. So his hair is parted, but flowing, like it's very raggedy, very unkempt and messy. So I'm just going to kind of play around with a few strands and then come back in and add just a few like that. I'd rather let color take care of it, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But every time I say that, every single time I start drawing a lot more lines, and I say, okay, that's it, I'm going to stop right there, and I keep drawing lines. So you'll see what I do. I'll see what I do too, because I have no idea. All right, so just a few little stray hairs like this, just to kind of make it look disheveled and messy. And so now I'm going to add his ear. And his ear is a little more squatty than his brother's. His brother's I drew way out there, but his are very unique too. And I'm going to just do it like this. And that's it. That's all I want to do for his ears. I'm going to keep it very simple. So I'm going to do the hair just like I did over here. Kind of part it on the side there. And just draw some crazy wisps. I kind of sketched it out, so I'm not just drawing randomly. I kind of know what I was going to do. And again, I'm going to thicken up these edges just a little bit. I'll do it over here too, because I forgot I didn't do it. But again, if you're using pencil, you don't have to do this. And you'll see why I did this in a second. Okay, so because his head is kind of turned, you can't see the entire ear. So I'm going to just draw a little nub out like that. And again, thicken it up. All right, so his hat, he's got a little beanie on. So his hat, we'll draw the rim of it like this. Just coming down like that. And the top of the beanie point, you can kind of see just a little bit of it like that. And that's all we're going to do. But again, I'm going to thicken this up. Now I like to thicken up the outer edge. It's got a very not tracing, what's the word I'm looking for? A very edge defining technique by darkening the outer edge. Okay, so his neck's going to come down here like this. So again, I'm going to thicken this up just to make it stand out. And switch over. I love that sound. Okay, so here we go with the big Sharpie, or the fine point Sharpie, which is not as fine. Anyway, so I'm going to draw his neck down like this, and see how thick that is? Woo! That's why I wanted to match it, or it's going to look really odd in my eyes. This is just what I want to do. So I'm going to draw his shirt. It's a t-shirt, but it's ripped open just a little bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit of a little V like that. Come in here and draw the top. We can connect that. And he's wearing a like a jean jacket. So we got to draw his collar. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the edge of it like that. We'll do this one here. Same thing like that. So now I can draw the collar. I can define that collar. That, and draw the edges of it up. Going back behind him. Like that. And then connect a few spots that I see I didn't get. A little bit there. Okay, and now let's do this arm because this one's in front, this one's behind. So I'm going to draw his shoulder like that. It's a little frayed, so I'm going to draw a little rough edge there. And because it's just a jean jacket, all I got to do is draw the edges like that. And he does have a bunch of patches and buttons and things like that. And I'll see if I can do some stuff, but right now I'm going to concentrate just on the shape of the body. So for his arm, we're going to draw his shoulder like this. And he's got a sleeve like that. So I'm going to draw his big arm. And so I've got him a little thick, remember, so we're going to draw a little bit bigger than we normally would. And so he has, oops, I lost my picture. He has a bracelet, like a little cool guy studded bracelet on. So I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw one edge like this. I'm going to come down, I'm going to bump it just slightly. Same thing over here, bump, and then bring it in. And I'll show you why in a second. So his forearm, again, is super thick. I'm going to tuck it over that muscle like that. Do this one down here like this and come down to the elbow. Now, for the little studs on his bracelet here, I'm just going to add little circles like this. We'll just add a couple. Like that. Okay? Awesome. Now, normally I add some lines and folds and creases and stuff like that, but it's just his muscle, so we're not going to worry about that. So I'm going to have him give him a thumbs up. So we're going to draw his hand basically like this. So here's his thumb. Coming out like that. Okay. Here's the back of his hand. There's his knuckles. To his fingers, which are tucked in and under. This one's tucked in and under like that. This one's coming in like that. And then I can tuck those back in. And this one is tucked under completely. All right, so let's add a little bit of detail just to clean it up, because you know the idea is that you guys can use a Sharpie because it's just what's laying around the house. But I know sometimes it's a little thick, so I just like to add little details like this just to help out. Just to make it come alive, you know. And I'm not going to worry about the knuckles. Normally I would do like with some bumps, but I think color is going to take care of that. So we're going to leave it alone. Okay. All right, so let's work on this arm over here. So this one has a cast on it. I didn't know that until I was looking at the drawings, because I only have like screenshots. The movie's not out when I'm doing this. At this point in time, the movie is out, but I only have screenshots to go by. So as I was sketching, I noticed he had a cast on this arm. So I was like, oh, let me make sure I put that in there. So I'm going to draw his shoulder like this. Same thing like we did over there, but more of a, you can see the sleeve or the hole on this side. So I'm going to draw his shoulder out like this. Draw that sleeve just out just a little bit, just to differentiate that it's over the arm there. And there's his bicep. It's going to be his elbow. There's the bicep you can see there. And the forearm's going to stop there because we're going to draw the cast like this. Go ahead and close off the forearm because it's over that muscle. And so I'm going to draw the cast down here like this. 2 knuckles. Like that. There we go. So now all you can really see are a little bit of his knuckles. Like that, and we'll go ahead and tuck his fingers in like that. That's all you can see. Now that's all we're going to do for the cast. Honestly, it may have, I can't tell if there's studs on it, or there's, is it writing? Yeah, that's what it is, it's writing. But that's it. So there are, it looks like some bandages, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to let color take care of that. So we're going to draw the back of his jacket, but it's going to disappear right there. So I'm going to draw the bottom of it. Again, it's going to disappear behind that arm. So now I'm going to come down here for his shirt. Just going to tuck it in like that. And his shorts, his cargo shorts. Now, his crotch is underneath there, like where it connects. So we're going to go ahead and just draw the line all the way like that. Normally I would draw like some lines, and we'll go ahead and just add a few little edge creases. Actually, I'll do that with the tiny Sharpie. Let me finish this up. And come down here. Now there's a pocket there, so I'm going to stop right about there and just draw like a little edgy little pocket, you know, a little cargo shorts pocket. Tuck it in like that. Same thing over here. You come down to about the same spot. Draw a little box like this. Draw that top, and it's got a little crease in it like that. Come down here, draw that edge, tuck it in like we did right there. So like I said, I like to draw creases and folds, but because it's just shorts, you know, there's not a lot I can really do. I'm just going to add just a few lines like that. That shouldn't have tucked in, sorry about that. Just to you know, play around with the lines. But that's all I can really do, because it's just regular shorts, you know? Okay, let me see. Let me double check a few more things. Looking good. Let's go. So now we're going to draw his legs, and their style, it comes out to a big wide bottom, but I'm drawing more realistic, so I'm going to draw his front leg like this, down to where his sock's going to be like this. And see, it's just a thicker calf is basically what we're drawing. And let's just go ahead and do them both. So I'm going to do his knee down here, coming into the sock, like this. I guess we'll close that off too. Again, a big thick calf to the leg like that. We can add a little bit of a knee. We can do that at least, right? Let's see what that would be about. Wait, can you see his? Does he have? No, that's just his leg. Okay. So we're just going to kind of come in and do this, you know? Just kind of accent his knee like that. And that, again, that's all we're really going to do, because it's such a beefy build that there's not a lot of detail that we need to worry about. So I'm just going to draw his shoes, and he's got his tongue's kind of out like that. So now I can just go ahead and bring the shoe in. That one's more pointed at you. Coming down like that. I'll add some detail in a second. Just going to add this detail over here too. Like that. Pull the toe. Coming up here like this. Now, he does have some big fat laces, and normally I don't draw the laces, but he's just got two. So we might as well put something there, right? Like this. Kind of crossed over itself like that. And I'll go ahead and just draw kind of a bendy fold for his shoe, you know, something to accent that it's got creases there. And okay, so we'll do the same thing over here. We're going to do a lace, one over like this, do the other one underneath it, kind of an X, like that. And draw the top of it like that. We'll do like we did over there, just kind of, you know, add that little extra look to it. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Barley Lightfoot from Onward.
So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.